Peace, 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 family. We're not going to be too long this morning. We got a lot to take care of. I just wanted to holler at my people before we go do our training. I got like 6 people I train this morning. But let me do my Moorish prayer, and then I want to share some information with my brothers and sisters. It's going to be real quick, and then we're going to be out of here. But I always like to get started. What's up, cuz? I love you, cuz. I'm going to be in Flint in July. I want you to come to my lecture, man, and I hope you tell everybody to spread the word, for we can have it packed, for we can let our people know who we are, and we can get out of this religious dogma and get into who we are, spiritually, understanding how we operate, and understanding history, and building together, creating wealth. So we're going to do a lecture in Michigan, cuz it's going to be free for everybody, but we asking for at least a $10 or $20 donation. And with that donation, you will get literature from me. So I hope we spread the word, man. This is going to be something that will change our lives, because we're not Negro, black in color. Black is beautiful, but it's not a nationality, and you should know who you are spiritually. But with that being said, family, let me do my Moorish prayer, and I'm going to share some history with you, then I'm gone. Because you have to know history, and you have to know where you're from to understand where you're going. And in order to build, family, we must destroy, and we must destroy all Eurocentric propaganda. We shouldn't be taught by no one that does not look like us. But first we have to check the source to make sure they're righteous, to make sure they have the degrees. I went back in the belly of the beast and educated myself mentally, spiritually, and physically, and educational wise. But I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. My 2 cents, Moors, health and wealth. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course, Moors. Any member who or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deed, Moors. All true Moors will and must obey the laws as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and their fez, and return to the state where we were found. This is a holy, and I repeat, this is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, ayah asher ayah, whatever name you use to praise his name. But Moors, we got to get out of, how can I say, we be so critical with our own brothers and sisters, and we don't be critical with the pseudo-academia that we've been taught all our life. All our life we've been taught wrong, educational-wise, even in the churches. And what do? We jump right back up the next day and go support it and give them our funds. The preacher's not the fool. The people are the fool by going to that nonsense, not being able to ask questions and continue to give your funds. That's an oxymoron. And when we know we've been taught wrong by educators, we won't question that. We won't question that. But when your brother is teaching them, brothers and sisters won't even research. They won't even get the books and read. That's why I tell brothers and sisters, you know where to hide something from a Negro, black in color, and even a Moor that think he knows something? You put the wisdom in the book. All you're going to do is go, well, somebody said this, my man said that. I don't give a damn what nobody say. A person can be lying to you. Somebody's belief can be based on a lie. You need to investigate that for yourself. You need to investigate that for yourself. And then when you research it, then when you read a book, you just don't read a book. You dissect the book. You're supposed to be interpreting the book. I don't care if you read something. Words mean things. Words are spells. So what you must do with that wisdom is you must dissect it. You must dissect the words. You must be willing to break down every word and look up that word, what it meant when it was written, what it meant today, yesterday, today, forevermore. Because my name is Kari, and Kari is Kari all across the board. More is more all across the board. That's why a lot of people got drew off the line, because they didn't understand more in different spelling in Spanish and Latin. It was still explaining you. M-O-H-R, M-O-O-R, M-O-R-E, M-O-O-R-E. It was explained to you. That's why when I tell brothers, Jesus is not a transliteration. That's a replacement. You can't get Yahshua out of Jesus. And all scholars know this. All scholars know this. That's like my Hebrew Israelite brothers. You go say Jesus, but how can you say you a Hebrew and that's not the name that they gave themselves? And Hebrew is is Greek. They were Eber and Heber. So we can get technical all across the board. If brothers say they're Hebrew Israelites and you steady using Greek names, foreign names, that's not the name that they gave to themselves. Why are you reading from a foreign book? These are questions. If you say you Hebrew, you don't read Paleo Hebrew, because modern Hebrew is gibberish, just like Yiddish. That's gibberish. So if you claim you're a Hebrew Israelite and you don't even interpret the language, you don't have to speak it fluently, but you should be able to interpret it. For you won't get tricked with language, with words. When I break things down, I say, brother, that's not true, because the language don't match. You just repeating something. When I see brothers arguing with European and different nationalities about this, I say, brother, they talking about themselves. Are you a Greek Jew? Because I can break it down in the 1828 Webster Dictionary and tell you what the Hellenistic is. If you take your time and research, and once you study that, then you will be okay. You'll be like, man, why am I arguing? You're supposed to be basing things on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We don't argue. That's your lower self. The text speaks for itself. The wisdom is there. All we got to do is fall under one auspice, man. I have brothers and sisters that's donating $50 a month right now. They get a tax-exempt receipt. You know? That's right. We must write our truths. We must study. I have brothers and sisters that donate $50 a month. They get a tax-exempt receipt at the end of the month, just like they was donating, at the end of the year. But they get a receipt with everything they purchased. Then I give them one receipt at the end of the year, for you can claim on your taxes, just like if you was donating to any nonprofit. But with me, you get all the literature. You don't have to be like what I'm reading. You will have it all. Your library will be packed over the end of the year. That's what I'm doing. This is a real organization. This is nothing fake. I'm not asking people to send me no money and I'm buying luxury things. That ain't how I work. I spend my own finances to build. So this wisdom right here, the return of the ancient ones, about our empress, Verdice, Tierra, the Washita Turner Goslam El Bay. I'm telling you, man, one of our empresses. This is real history, what they try to draw up under the lines about the ancient ones, the Moors, the Washita, the Hangdia Empire. And you see Yah on the end of everything when I tell Moors about the palindrome word, when I did the Yoso Somos code, when I connect the dots and everything, when I say Hayah, Hayah, when I tell you that the Indians were the Israelites, a European, Adar proved that. I got the books to prove it all. Just like it's not a such thing as an Arab genetically. David Bertram proved that who it was, the indigenous people. He stayed with it for 14 years. Telling you, man, the ancient ones. I'm gonna read a little bit, just a little bit about this, because we gotta understand who we are. Watch this. What is Directive 15? Man, a lot of stuff, man. I have to upload that for you. But consideration of feelings and time has been a main concern. Some scholars welcome truth and some do not, unless they themselves put in it. But as an ancient one said, my people die for the lack of knowledge. And I believe this as well, as I believe the truth shall set you free. What we need to do is set free the mind. We cannot free a mind to seek a true knowledge by putting it under a basket. Knowledge is not a lie. It is truth. It is truth. That's why when I tell you the stories of Lois and Clark, man, they was real. These were people that discovered and proved who the indigenous people was. Lewis and Clark said we were here when an exploration was made by them for this country. The first white man came to our good area and jotted down a history document. Said we were here. Fihol, Phil, put us on his map. And he said we were here and owned the place at the time he made his map. And the Plano, Plano, said we were the people that made the road, the Rio Negro River, as he called it. And they covered it up when they used language. It's now called the what Moors? The Black River. And if I want to know if a horse had teeth, Moors, I will go to a living horse and open his mouth, Moors. And what is, and excuse me, and that is what we have to do. And that is what has been done. The research has been done. It took 20 years to find all these pieces. And we hope you enjoy it as much as the writer did, Verdice did. This is not literature. It is truth. It is in black and white. And to read it all over and over and over. Empress Verdice Tierra, Washington Turner Gosden, the author. Let me give you a little preface. The Bible is the oldest book known to man. It is the first source of reference. The source of a reference is human. A man named Charlie Walker, who we call Grant because his age was an uncountable one. Remember, when you get a Negro, black, or colored, when I tell you the Bible, it explains everything. It explains geographical landmass, and it proved that the Asiatic black man is the father of civilization. And if any more argue with that, they don't know how to study. They don't know how to read. Because the Bible don't say that Yahshua is no white man. That's just the symbology that you get. If the biblical scriptures tell you that Yahshua or the Messiah is a white man, I give you $1,000 right now. It ain't in there. Because that's what Negro, blacks, and colors make up. I can dissect that book and show you geographical landmass, show you the words, show you what they meant in ancient. Be like, man, it's talking about all Asiatic black men of this land. Period. The master masons, the stone builders, the ones that was assigned to build the temples. Period, man. Uncle Abe Walker was an old man. Uncle Abe died at 95. Grant's baby son. There had been 12 more sons and 8 daughters. Grant had an old man when Uncle Abe was born, and he outlived Uncle Abe over 5 years. He claimed to be 150 years old. They gave him 130 at his death. I'm sure Grant was the oldest man of this country. He said he was a Daustinian Washita, and we were pure Washitas. September little taint by Dio Mason Rouge, he would say. Grant made his circuit every month. Excuse me, brother. But Grant made his circuit every month up to the mound to pray. He did not have a religion. He had a spirit. His children were from the campground and Bright Water Church, Methodist. That's why if you are Moor, you don't diss any spirituality because you're supposed to understand the triple rows of the adapt chamber. And that's all the 3 religious houses. You're supposed to understand the essence. And Moors know what I'm talking about. I'll get to some more good stuff. I'll skip a little bit. The other references have been backed by their old books, birth records, marriages, archive records, and different archaeologists, reports, scraps of information left, found among the people belonging or their sayings and signs. Watch this. I'm honored to be asked to write the preface for this book. Let me get down to the good part. All the while, as we slipped into the land of Nod, as we ourselves started to assist in the process of helping the master scientist and master mental trickster to his heart to keep us even longer in the Nod, to keep us longer in the Nod, sleep, just with our mouth wide open, not understand history. But this research will awaken the sleeper and allow you to see through the layers of lies, through the veil of Eurocentric propaganda, to the lies through your preachers, to the lies to your teachers. That's your own kind. That when you ask questions, they tell you, you don't touch my anointed. That's out of context. Why are you in some house and you can't ask questions? That don't even make sense. That's dictatorship. It's an old saying, Moors. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it between the pages of a book. If you are a black person possessing any gray matter at all, and in and of this world, you owe it to yourself and those behind and around you to research this knowledge, the return of the ancient ones. This is one myth we collectively must shatter, Moors. And that's why the work I do, I take so serious. Because when I was doing my studies, when I was introduced to the doctoral library, and when I crossed my degrees, when I became a 33 times 3, a 99th rank, and when I became a member of the Philosophical Research Society, and I was able to sit at the round table, and at the Philosophical Research Society, they have all these wisdom books in there written by Moors, the real history of the world, all Lewis and Clark expeditions. Oh man, that blow your mind. And they tell you before the Civil War and the American Revolution what they call Negro blacks in color, Moorish Americans, descendants of Moroccans, born here in America. Facts, man. The Empress book will call to ask her a recessive child, the keeper of light. And now she's one of the dominant parents in the process of awakening the nodding ones fully again. And the ones whose time has spoken of will soon approach and greet you standing on the square. Standing on your square, Moors, properly postured, erect, and holding and giving all of the signs and symbols and keys of his and her rightful offices, Moors. When I tell you, masonry, you are the free men. But the European, they had to connotate it. But they couldn't be you, so they had to dress like you. I'm telling you, man. And should you not believe me, just go find a truly conscious Moor, Moor, Muur, however you spell it, and ask that person if they are a real scientist, if they are a real historian, if they are a real scholar, like they say. They should not be upset when you ask them scholarly things. And if they don't know, as a doctor, they should say, I will go research it and get back with you. We don't babble off at the mouth with belief system. We operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, my 2 cents, health, and wealth, and on things that can be proven. Anything else is bullcrap. But this research shows and proves with extensive documents, Moors, that the deceiving phases had been to a large extent laid out for those who have eyes to see and have heard and mind to understand, Moors. For with this wisdom book, the mental tricks have been greatly nullified for those who wish to use the gift of mind, gift of your mind. The Empress of the Washita, the Dahondia, has fought, Moors, the good fight that even her enemies must show some grudging respect. And it has been a long, bloody, and protracted fight. And with this book, she has won, if nothing else, Moors, a very deep and satisfying victory of actual seeing and feeling. Her book, finally in print, Moors. I mean, we can go all about this wisdom, man. Let me give you a little history. This book also gives you a personal research regarding your Moorish history, and then allow your mind to connect the two. Then you should say to yourself, let us deal with facts. The mental journey this book will take you on will be worth the effort and the small price, Moors. I'm telling you, this wisdom, we should research. Now watch this, I'm going to show you something. And I want you to research it. I'm going to show you some maps. This is one of the maps. This is the so-called, hold on, let me get me a sip of this tea, because I'm almost done. See, when you go to libraries and you're able to get information, you can debunk Eurocentric propaganda. This is the ground plans for the so-called Louisiana Purchase. And everything was already here. Watch, when I tell you the reason why they didn't want to give you Egypt and Jerusalem, because they were all right by each other. Watch. Let me show you. You probably can't see it on here, but I have to. You got Jerusalem right here, and then right by it, right here, you got Morocco. Right here, next to it. Jerusalem, Morocco. Watch. When I say stuff was here, that's why they didn't want you to know. We made all these things. It just was copied. That's why when I show you the slave ships from Judah, which is right in Egypt, the slave ship of Benin, you got to know things. And then how they show you see the south is up top, the north is up bottom, east is here, west is here. That's how it's supposed to be. The south is up top, the north is up bottom, east, west. I hope you're noticing that. This is what the ground plans of the Louisiana Purchase Exposition in 1904. And then when you research the science, the government gave land back to the Moors. They didn't give it all to them. They gave about like 90-some thousand. You can research it. You can research this wisdom. That's why when things done the right way, when people organize, you can do things the right way by proving who you are. And the land was given back. I'm telling you, man. This scholarship. We do scholarship, man. We don't get with feelings. Just like when I break things down. This is all about perfecting yourself, Moors. This is about mastering your higher self. The star and that moon, that symbolizes the month and the sun. The mother come together, create life. That compass and that square, that's the gnosis. That's the secret teachings. Everything is measured in the compass and the square. Everything is measured in the compass and the square. When I show you how I can put the circle in the square, when they both have the same diameter, 360, they just shape different. When I tell you 360 is just the sum total of material wisdom, that's nothing. 360 is just is material wisdom. You must become 720, a circle in a circle. And 720 is the sum total of both material and spiritual. When we master our higher self and let go of our lower self, which is ego, jealousy, stinginess, cheat, not nation building. When we do the numbers, the H-E-A-R-T, the H in the alphabet is the 8, the E is the 5, the A is the 1, the R is the 9, the T is the 2. That equals 25. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The so-called 12 disciples, the 12 zodiacs, the 12 constellations in the brain. In my science, in our Moorish masonry science, when I say all constellations have 3 deacons, the 12-step ladder, the 12 steps to perfection. We break it down science, man. The crest I am. You see that around your skull. When people getting you caught up in words, Africa is the flush of God. You see those 3 droplets? You see that? The signs and symbols you must know. So you don't get caught up in allegorical bullcrap and stuff that you think is scary, which is not. It's your science. Look, it's all your science. Watch this. The 7 laws of the universe, the 7 pillars, the 7 lotus, the 7 wheels, the 7 Kemetic principles, connotated, hermetic, and Kabbalah. Mentalism, cause and effect, gender, rhythm, vibration, correspondence, polarity. Right? The 7 lotus, 7 wheels, the root, the genital, the solar, the heart, the throat, the pineal, the crown. All the chakras. You see that triangle? Understanding, knowledge, wisdom. Right at the tip of it, you got who? The sun child, the father man, Sophia, which is the Holy Spirit, which is the woman. Islam, I, self, law, and master. God, which is you, generator, operator, destroyer. You are the God. Just like the thermostat. Does the thermostat go outside of itself for hot and cold? No. The pendulum change. Just like you. You are heaven and hell within. The God and the devil is within. We master our higher self. We fight. This battle is fought from within. You see that star and moon? What Moors ain't gonna tell you because they don't know. The Mason, that triangle with the middle in it, that's self-soul. That compass is to circumscribe the world, the ruler, to measure it. To measure. You see that so-called 6-point star, which gangbangers use? That it's all more science. That's the above and below coming together. And then when you put the Ankh in the middle, it creates life, Moors. That's why when I say this 5-point star, the 6-point star, when you righteous, is Moors. You've been tricked and bamboozled. You see that circle with the line across? That's sustainability. This right here, that's sustainability, Moors. What do I mean sustainability? Fire, earth, air, river, the river which is water. If that goes away, we all die. We all believe in that. We should. Here we go with the 12 zodiacs, the so-called 12 apostles, our 12 ladders and our workman master tools, our masonry tools. They go to 5-point stars, per se. Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, manifestation of man. Oh, they go to Quran, knowledge, order, rhythm, astronomy, nature. All Moors should know that. If a Moor don't understand how to can break science down and metaphysics, you need to run from them because he's not operating in their higher self. 1 Kings 7 and 13, Haram of beef, the 3 spiritual powers, energy and insight. Remember I broke that down? This metaphysically, but I also broke who Haram of beef was. The Asiatic black man. That Aleister Crowley and Manly P. Hall write about, but they write it up in allegorical stories and they draw you off the breadcrumbs, but they dress up just like you. I'm telling you, the all black suit represents the melanin, but they won't tell you. I'm gonna tell you. The her web. I hope we know what that web means, Moors. Here go the square. Same thing, just like the circle. When it's 360, the circle has 360 degrees of diameter. How? Because when you make a circle, you put the line down the middle like that. You got 90, 90, 90, 90. That's 360. The same way the square has it. What? 90, 90, 90, 90, 360. Air, fire, water, earth. Just like Hitler took the so-called swastika and turned it sideways. This right here, 90, 90, 90, 90. That's our sign. That's the Latin Zonia star child. I promise you. That was stolen out of Egypt or Kemet. I promise you. Letting the good air in and the bad air out. People take our signs and symbols and reverse them. Don't you know that? 90, 90, 90, 90. Now watch this. Egypt. Same thing. The E is 5. The G is 7. The Y is 7. The P is 7. The T is 2. Equal 4 P's. Equals what? 7s. Here it is. God, you are the generator, operator, destroyer. You, your own universe. You are your own universe. Boy, biological youth organism. That's what we're made of. Biological youth organism, Moors. Watch this. And that same chart I just showed you, I'm going to break it down in my metaphysics charts. Because I have degrees in metaphysics. When I break down the physical body to the temple. Everything that, when you read the biblical scriptures, the tabernacle built without hands, Moors, is your physical body. From the curtains to the veins, everything that allegorical story tell you, I can break that down and show you how that's talking about your physical body. The most holy place, the holy place, and a quarter roundabout. That's your body. The bone structure of a man represents the pillar bars and the boards in the tabernacle, Moors. I hope we know this. Once again, the most holy place is your brain. The holy place that's inside, your heart and everything, the quarter roundabout, is everything that keeps you going. Everything that your body is made up of, it has a symbol, and it symbolizes something. That's why the man made in the image of Elohim by the pattern of the tabernacle. Man made in the image of Elohim by the pattern of the tabernacle. So when you're being taught the right way, biblical scriptures lead to God and man as one. I don't know what somebody been teaching. You just been taught wrong. We must teach from our perspective and draw off that pseudo-academia, draw off that Eurocentric propaganda, and draw off the lies from our uneducated Negro black preachers and replace them with truth seekers. I'm telling you, man, this is about perfecting yourself and perfecting this world that we're in and navigating as business people, as one organization. That's what this science is about. When a person ain't going to show you the maps. See, I have the charts. I have way more charts than this where it draw up. You can erase confusion. You can erase confusion. We got to put the right people in our houses that teach and educate. We can do this. I mean, look, most people that go to church, they got a Bible in their hand and in their car and don't know a damn thing in that Bible. And I'm not talking about nobody particular. Only church thing people, and even some more, know is what somebody tell them to read. They don't know what that book is about. They don't know what that book is about. That book is about perfecting yourself. It's about a particular family. It ain't about you getting on your knees and praying to somebody finna come save you. That's bull crap. That's overseer. That's what they did to the indigenous people. They brought that damn book written in gibberish. And we already had spirituality. When the Europeans came to Nigeria and those places to colonize, they was amazed that the indigenous people, which were the true Jews, the Gad, already was doing practicing the Judaistic rituals and the Hebraic rituals, doing all that, eating clean, without no Bible that wasn't brought to the indigenous people till the colonists came. Man, you got to know history. You got to know history, man. It's a replacement. I promise you. You got to know who you are. Know that you're not Negro, black, and colored. Know real history. Know real spirituality. Know how to break those biblical books down and say, I hear you, but this is what the story is talking about. And prove that. And leave that bull crap and build the right way. In order to build, you must destroy, Moors. We break this stuff down and we explain it. So you can operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth and ask questions. If you don't have no questions, that's messed up. We be going to all these schools and these churches all our life, and then come home and argue when it's over instead of saying, you know what? Let's build the right way. You know? Yep. Man, it's so many movies. Man, you got Robin Hood. You got the movie when Martin Lawrence was playing the Moor. When he was playing the Moor. Man, you got so many movies. It's a movie came out in the early 90s, and I'm gonna play it when the guy got arrested by the mob, and he was laughing when they was finna beat him up. He was like, ha ha ha. He was like, excuse my language, you all are niggas. He was like, the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years. Who you think your fathers are? And when you think about it, you like, this is true. Because movies always depict and tell you something. You know? And it proved it. You know? Well, I did that already because in astronomy, but I will do it again. And I did that with our zodiac. I did that with the clock of destiny, and I will do it again. It matches. It lines up right. That's why I tell Moors, if you don't understand the zodiac laws and how this world operates and understand the zodiac signs, you lost. Moors, let me see something. Let me see something. Right, cause you got this right here. See, this is stuff that people won't reveal to you, but I have the wisdom. The Sacred Magic of Aberlin, the Mag. It's 3 volumes of this. See, this is what they use, and they keep it away from you. This is how you build yourself up. And they are connotated as some black magic or some evil, but it's not. The Akashic records. This is what you're talking about, the Akashic records. When it breaks down everything, your purpose on this earth, when I can break down all your astrological signs, for you can understand what your purpose to do on this earth. That's what we're supposed to do. See, this is stuff that they ain't gonna share with you, but all my students have it. These are bombs. I promise you, these are bombs. Research them. And then research the Sacred Magic of Aberlin, the Mag, with the Europeans, Alex Crowley and them. This all come from Egypt. They got this from Egypt. And they tell you it. All this stuff came from Egypt. This is how you operate in your higher self instead of arguing with some nigger about what some prophet taught. They don't know what the prophet taught because they own dogma. Noble Drew Ali was a scholar, a teacher, a professor, and adapt, just like myself. He went through all the religious houses, just like myself. You have to be a studier and a philosopher and continue to learn. And also the clock of destiny. A lot of Moors don't even have the clock of destiny. I have them. These are the supreme lessons that you understand how the world works. Like, for instance, in the clock of destiny, and when you understand the zodiac laws, the sun is in the middle. The son of God. And then you got all of the 12 disciples or the 12 zodiac signs off of that. I sell them more. I tell them, if this is too simple. I have 10 students, they all donate $50 a month. When you donate $50 a month, I'm shipping you stuff each month. So there's no reason to say, what should I have? You're going to have it. Each month I ship from the donation that they give. If things cost a little more, then I'll say, well, that literature more, it costs a little more, send a little bit more donation. You can see how much it costs from other platforms, and you see how much I ask for a donation. But with me, you get a tax-exempt receipt. I'm a real nonprofit organization, set up just like Noble Drew Ali set the Moorish Science Temple up with an affidavit. I have a tax-exempt number, just like the Moorish Science Temple has a tax-exempt number. I'm set up as a religious organization. Moors, I hope y'all know why. You got to understand the verbiage of why you're set up that way and how you can operate in your community and teach educationally, spiritually, religiously, scientifically, and ask for donations, not only from your people, but from organizations, and they give you things. That's what this is about, man. We playing stupid. Let's jump in and do this. But it's about perfecting yourself and understand that you are a business. And understand that you can do business collectively. We can't do nothing by our Moors. I'm going to show y'all something out here in Arizona. It's a thing called land watch. And there's so much land out here in Arizona. When I come back and do my lecture, I'm going to show y'all how we can get 30 acres or more for 20-something thousand. And then we put our own pole barns and our own education on it. We have our own area, farmland in Arizona, 20,000. That's what I paid for my damn Camaro. And so now I'm billing people, hey, we need to get this land. We need to get this land. I got all the blueprints. I'm going to get it myself. Man, I paid for a car. I bought a Camaro, and now my car's paid off. I'm not going to go get another car, and I'm talking about building a nation builder. I'm going to show the people this is what you can do with your own finances. I'm financing the land, just like I did with my car until I paid it off. 30 acres. And I got the blueprints, the specs I can show you. It's no reason to argue. We can take over our community, and we can have our own area in a warm climate to where we vacation, to where I'm at. Because I'm going to be going back and forth. This is real stuff. We can have our own compound in Arizona. 20-something thousand. It's so much. It's so much when you go on land watch in Arizona. It's so much land. And other nationalities can get it. I'm not finna wait. I want horses. I love gardens. We got to have our own. People saying they eat healthy. Well, you don't know what's healthy if you're not growing it yourself. I don't care if a package says home grass fed or whatever. I mean nothing. You don't even know what's if you've been to that farm. You don't know what the grass being fed, so you don't know if it's natural or not unless you're growing it yourself. And most companies don't give a damn. They'll just pay a penalty and keep the product out. All we need is minerals from Mother Earth. We don't need no pills. I teach this. I don't take any pills. I just work out. I live right. I love my wife right. I eat healthy. Peace. I eat healthy, and I stay dedicated to what I do. I do the same thing every day. And that's how I teach my young men. That's why I'm serious, and my young kids are soldiers, and they're writing from scholarship and writing in APA format in middle school and elementary. APA format is a master's level and a doctoral level. My kids are studying. When the teacher's telling the right of so-called black history, we do real history. And the teachers are very, very impressed because they're like, you study who you are. And that's what we must do. You must find yourself in history and our religion and write about yourself and prove this. But Moors, if you're interested in being a student and donating, all you have to do is download our office number. Our office number is 702-272-4775. And download the Cash App. Once you download the Cash App and you donate $50 a month, I'm going to send you books and literature. Monday, our lecture, one of my students, Prince L, is going to be on here, and another brother in Illinois is going to be on the Message Monday. We're going to do the Message Monday about, I say, 4 o'clock, and they're going to let you know all the literature they be getting. That's why I can care less about how big or how many people I have. I need real students and dedicated people. That's why I said if I get 10 dedicated empresses and their children, I'll change this whole movement. Because I'm serious. As far as the clothing we wear, as far as building, economics, this is what I do. I teach. I'll show you how to stop begging. Yes, you should get a job, but you shouldn't get out of work and come home and go to sleep. You should go to your group and continue to build so you can stop working eventually, and all you'll be doing is working on what you love and your passion. But we use our so-called job to finance our passion. That's what I do with my funds. I just don't go buy clothes and go out to eat. That's a waste of time. I buy literature. I have a whole library in my storage unit. Over 15, probably about like 15,000 books. I just spent $1,000 this month on getting all the literature for I can have. I mean, it's history. The Return of the Ancient Ones. I mean, all this literature, how to break our Quranic study down, the Catechism for Understanding the Moorish Quran, We Are the Washita Moors. I mean, the mystery of the Silent Brotherhood of the East. All the history I have prove that you're not Negro, black, and colored, even law. When I show you in law how the Europeans took blacks out of Congress and made some white Congress, I give you the documents in the 1800s. I show you that you're not Negro, black, and colored. I show you that Abraham Lincoln, before he was the Dango president, he defended the Moor in court. The research is getting ready to come. Because if you were black, you couldn't have land, you couldn't have nothing. You were considered chattel for life. We got to study this, man. And don't go around with the title Negro, black, and colored. And no, you're not privileged. And yes, you can get yourself killed no matter if you nationalize your nationality. But you operate the right way, Moors. Because there's a thing out now called SOS. And I promise you, and that's a thing called shoot on sight. That's why I would never tell a Moor to do something I'm not doing. Some stuff is just not a fight that I want to fight. Because some things be done, yeah. If that's how you navigating, fine. But how is that saving fallen humanity? And how is that helping baby and children to tell them to do some things like drive without license or whatever, and then when they get in trouble, no one's there to defend them. No one's there to bail them out. There's no funds to help them legally. Nobody in the group is a legal representation. Nobody can research precedent cases to help the brothers. See, I would never tell nobody to do something I wasn't doing. Because the first thing you have a scholar and a thinker to be like, okay, well, let me see if you doing it. And they not. You have a right to travel and a right to operate a motor vehicle. A right to travel don't mean you can have to drive. You can catch the bus, you can walk, you can catch a plane, you can ride a bike. But is there laws? yes, it's laws. You better know it the right way, and you better stand strong on it, and you better understand that if that's your fight. But that's a petty fight. It's way bigger. And I'm not trying to pick a fight. What I'm trying to do is save fallen humanity and show my people that they're business people. And if you arguing over not paying taxes on a small purchase instead of understanding the big purchases as a group, how I show people how we do big purchases under my nonprofit and we don't pay taxes on vehicles and homes and things, and I show people how to take their property out of public and put it in a private trust, a living trust, so it's protected. These are the civic things, not doing nothing illegal, not squatting in no damn house. That's a fight that you don't want to fight, especially if you live in a community. That's a fight you don't want to fight. Yes, it's things if you're not making money, but you don't have to do certain things. But you better know it all the way and be able to stand on it and defend yourself the right way. Not look stupid when you get pulled over, quote some stuff that you done read on YouTube that's some treaty, and ain't no treaty been kept from the United States. All treaties been broken. Every one. So if you don't know the full color of law, we should not be running to court. Didn't our American prophet Noble Drew Ali said, if you want a European sheiks, I'll give them to you? Didn't he say, I'll leave the European here long enough for I can help you create a government? These is his words, not mine. These is his words, not mine. So why are we doing that? Negro, black, and colored, we're the only ones that look outside of ourselves for righteousness, and I'm so tired of it. No disrespect, because I have European friends. I love everybody. But we talking about teaching ourselves. Why somebody else can put on a suit and come tell you some bull crap and you believe it because they look different and they say they have these titles. I have the same titles they have. And I give a reference so you can look everything up. If you don't like it, fine. But you must respect and honor things that you can research and stand strong on it. So if brothers and sisters want to be students, man, and donate, because once we come back from Michigan, man, a lot of things are going to change. You know, and I'm just hoping to get students to donate, man, so we can build this. So I can have a temple out here in Arizona, and I can have people coming together. I teach at the temple. We can start getting our land, and people can start migrating from, especially a lot of my family and my cousins that's in Flint, that's struggling. They can get the hell out of Flint and come out here with me, and we build as a family, as a nation. That's what this is about, so we can help each other. The strong bear the infirmities of the weak. Moors, don't y'all know that? Where one lacking, that's where we all pick up. When one eat, we all eat. We have our own garden. We can do this, man, with this 30-some acres. We complaining. We can do this now, Moors. Let's build and educate and teach our children, teach our wives, teach our babies, teach the world that we are righteous people and we have a place on this earth. I'm not here to diss nobody. I have compassion for everybody, but I love myself and I love my kind as well. And I've been educated, and I'm telling the Negroes, the black and colored, and our sisters, empresses, and our Moors, and even the brothers that say the Hebrew Israelites, we've been lied to, educationally, spiritually, historically, and lawfully. Come on, Moors, join in. I love you all. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, my 2 cents Moors, health, and wealth. Peace, light, and